Welcome to the webinar. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's made the effort, for those of you who have put aside the time to spend with me as we go through some of the aspects of caring for someone with dementia. In this webinar, I'll be sharing 3 secrets that will greatly improve your skills in caregiving for someone living with dementia. You will also be able to have a new and better lease on life in your caring role, as well as to improve your outlook as a caregiver. So today, I'm pulling back the curtain on how to effectively care for someone with dementia while maintaining a sense of control. Welcome to the webinar. I'm your host, Ann-Noreen Bird, dementia expert. So what's the real story? I would like to tell you that caring in dementia is very difficult, and whatever happens is not your fault. I'd like to encourage you that you can do this. Dementia is hard, but you can do it. Many times we find there are hidden enemies, but many times those enemies are within ourselves, telling us that we can't do a good job, we cannot do what it takes to make this person comfortable. And there are suspicions around what we do, but sometimes we are our biggest fault finders. But I want to tell you that you can live the dream of giving your loved one the best care possible. So who is this webinar for? It is for family caregivers of anyone living with dementia. It is also for professional caregivers of people with dementia. It is for anyone in the early stages of dementia, as well as anyone whose parents or siblings may have had dementia and still want to learn about it. It is for anyone who wants to learn more about dementia. So I'd like to say you are very welcome to this webinar. My goal for this session is to give you a clear understanding of the unwritten guidelines for caring for someone with dementia. My promise to you, if you stay to the end of this webinar, you will receive for free, 100% free, a video training of 3 techniques which will help family caregivers with their caring. So let's look at the house rules. This is a 0 BS zone. So we're not, messing about. This is real, and this is for people who want to learn more about caregiving. It is not about getting quick results. I'm not here to teach you theory, and I would love it if you would turn off your mobile phones, Facebook, or anything that will take your attention away from this webinar, because it is going to change your life. So I would like to request your 100% undivided attention. So let's look a little bit about me. Let me tell you my story. I have been a nurse for more than 30 years, and 24 of those years I've spent in dementia care. I'm a qualified nurse, and I was qualified back in the Caribbean in the 1980s. I came to London in 1990 and worked at Lewisham and North Southwark Health Authority. Then I moved on to South London and Maudsley NHS Trust, and then finally to East London Mental Health Trust. I studied at the Royal College of Nursing, where I got my diploma in nursing as well as my BSc. I studied at the London South Bank University, where I got my MSc in nursing as well as my postgraduate diploma in nurse teaching. I taught dementia nursing at London King's College University for a number of years, and I later worked as nurse advisor and borough lead nurse for older people's services in a large London borough. So after 24 years in the field of dementia care, you could say that I'm a little more than passionate about people living with the condition, as well as those who care for them. So my wish is to reach all people affected by dementia in all levels of society. to also demonstrate empathy and understanding to those living with the illness, to educate and support those who deliver care to people living with dementia. I have had many success, but I have also had failures, many failures. But one thing I have discovered, and that is dementia is a journey. You can say it's a voyage into the unknown, but one person caring for another symbolizes life's greatest value. There are rewards for each and every one of you who care. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but there are rewards. Caring in dementia is like no other. It can truly be overwhelming, as no 2 days are the same. Regardless of whether or not your loved one remembers you, whether you consider them angry or aggressive or not very loving sometimes, this is the time that your loved one needs you the most. So the results you may get will vary. I will help you to understand the reasons behind some of your relatives' difficult behaviors and give you techniques you can use to bring a sense of calm. Please understand that your results may not be typical because the average person who attends any free training like this one gets little or no results. However, I'm happy to share with you for free exactly what tips I've used in difficult situations. This webinar is not for those who have been there, done that, know it all already. It is for people who want to learn and give the best care out there. Are you aware that 4 out of 5 families with dementia fall apart? Only 1 out of 5 pull together. Would you like to be the 1 in 5? If so, could you write yes in the chat box? So, who's ready to discover today's 3 key steps of learning? So let's get into it then. The 3 secrets that I'm going to teach you today are as follows. Secret number 1, learn the most essential concept that people overlook when caring for someone with dementia. Secret number 2, discover clear strategies to improve and manage your expectations when delivering care in dementia. And secret number 3, I will reveal the exact 3-step process to achieving quality care, which will challenge you but will also satisfy those in your care. So who's ready to learn about these secrets? Let's see in the chat box. Who's ready? Just type yes. Oh, thank you. I can see your yeses. Thank you. So, secret number 1, learn the most essential concept that people overlook when caring for someone living with dementia. Caring for someone with dementia is very different from caring for someone with cancer or someone recovering from a heart attack. There are unique challenges which unfold as the disease progresses. Many times caregivers are left to guess what their loved one's needs are. The most essential concept that people overlook is to meaningfully grasp the type of dementia their loved one is affected by. Dementia describes a collection of symptoms which affect memory, thinking, and social abilities severely enough to interfere with daily functioning. Dementia in itself is not a disease. Dementia is an umbrella term which is used to describe a range of symptoms associated with a person's thinking abilities. So here you can see 4 of the most common types of dementias. But there are approximately 100 types of dementias that affect people throughout the world. There is no cure for dementia at this time. So caregivers have to accept what is. They celebrate the good moments and know that they are making a real difference in the life of that person. But I want to explain to you in greater depth why it is important to fully grasp the type of dementia a person has in order to give the best care. And I'll do that by telling you the story of Bob. Bob was a gentleman in his 70s, and when I met him, he was a resident in a private dementia care home. His memory seemed fine, but he had a very inflexible nature. So inflexible that his life revolved around the clock. Everything had to be done at a certain time and there was no deviation. At 7:50 in the morning, for example, he would be in the clinic room waiting for the nurse to hand him his medication so he can have it with his 8 a.m. breakfast. The nurses could not deviate from his routine whatsoever. He was so fixated with time that he was managing the nurses. One morning, I was helping 2 healthcare assistants who was caring for a woman who was dying. We expected her to die that day, so I thought I'll give them a quick hand before attending to Bob's medication. Bob came to the patient's door, knocked, and insisted that I leave the patient and attend to his medication as he was expecting breakfast in the next few minutes. I learned from Bob's wife that Bob had suffered a cardiac arrest and was starved of oxygen to the brain for about 8 to 10 minutes while he was undergoing surgery a few years earlier. She said after that, Bob became a very different person. He became very difficult to live with. His wife, as a result of his change in personality and his difficult behavior, she had a nervous breakdown and had to be hospitalized. So, as we can see, Bob's personality has changed. Bob has become a different person. There's one illness, but there are now 2 casualties. Bob was placed in a care home, but was moved around from home to home as staff struggled to care for him. Bob, during this time, had never been formally diagnosed. So his many needs went unmet and unfulfilled. His frustration triggered frequent angry outbursts, frequent accusations with his wife. They just could not manage to live together. Both Bob and his wife experienced lots of stress, overwhelm, and isolation. Bob's wife became terrified of him. I once asked her, why was Bob on a dementia unit? She said it was because of his behavior. When I asked if he had a dementia, she said, oh no, disgust. So a reminder of what dementia is. It's a collection of symptoms which affect memory, thinking, and social abilities severely enough to interfere with daily functioning. It includes memory loss, personality changes, which Bob had. He didn't have a problem with his memory, but he had a problem with his personality. There was a change, and there was impaired intellectual functioning, and that resulted from trauma to his brain. He didn't have a disease in his brain, but he had trauma from where he suffered the cardiac arrest, and he had lack of oxygen going to the brain. So someone needed to point out that Bob met the criteria for dementia, but no one had said that to his wife. So eventually I did. Bob was eventually diagnosed and got the right treatment. In dementia, caregivers face unique challenges, especially as some of the dementias are very similar to each other. In Bob's case, he did not even fit the textbook model. Without correctly knowing the type of dementia your loved one has, caregivers are left feeling their way in the dark, just as in Bob's case. His wife, the staff, Bob himself, they were just feeling their way in the dark. They were driving blind. Conversely, when you know the type of dementia, it makes life so much easier. You would be more in control, and your loved one would reap the benefits of that knowledge and that control. You as the caregiver would be ahead of the game because you will know what you are dealing with. So at last, Bob got the help he needed. He was eventually diagnosed as having a frontal lobe dementia, which was the result of being starved of oxygen to the brain. So sometimes you just need to speak with the expert to get the right answer. So for many years, Bob was moved from pillar to post, moved from one unit to another, and people just thought Bob was being awkward. So Bob was eventually moved to specialist dementia care, where he got the care that he needed and where he got the people who understood what was going on with him. So that was secret number 1, the most essential concept that people overlook when caring for someone living with dementia. Can you see why you need to have a working knowledge of how the particular type of dementia affects an individual? You will then know what to expect and how to anticipate care needs. So let's move on to secret number 2. In this secret, you will discover clear strategies to improve and manage your expectations when delivering care in dementia. Dementia caregivers ride the world's biggest, fastest, scariest emotional roller coaster every day. One of the most important things you as a caregiver can do is to take care of yourself. There are a number of things you can do, and the first one is to nourish yourself first. Think of the oxygen mask on the airplane. What instructions are usually given when the flight attendant demonstrates how to use the oxygen mask? The instruction is to put on your mask first. And only when you put on your mask, then you will be able to better attend to those in your care, whether the person in your care is a child, an elderly person, or someone who is vulnerable in any way. You are instructed to put on your mask first, and then you look after the person in your care. So with dementia care, it's the same principle. Treat yourself, nourish yourself first. An example of that is when people say to you, "If ever there's something I can do to help, just let me know." Many carers say, "Oh no, I'll be fine," or they never take up the offer. I would like you to start taking up the offer. When someone offers to help, accept that offer of help. Find quality time for yourself. Go out with friends, join a club, make time for family. And the way you can do that is by accepting help from someone else. The second point I'd like to point out is to treat yourself better. Remember, dementia caring is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you must look after yourself in order to be able to give care to the person in need. Caregivers see themselves as having to do everything for 2 people. They see themselves as having to plan, to organize, to problem solve, to do all the work, and they get nothing in return. This leads to exhaustion for caregivers. And what about the person with dementia? What do they get? They learn to be disempowered. They learn to be more helpless. And they become even more disabled. And why do you think this happens? This is because as caregivers, we take everything off them. We normally say, "Well, mom, dad, auntie, whoever, you can't do anything anymore. I'm going to do everything for you." Many people with dementia retain a lot of skills, but if we don't get them to use it, they will lose it. So we need to work with them so they can maintain those skills. And we do for them only those things that they are unable to do. And the third point I would like to raise here is that instead of being a caregiver where you just dish everything out, where you just give and give and give, why don't you become a care partner with the person? So you work together, you work collaboratively with the person, you encourage them to use the remaining skills they have, and so you both care together. I want to show you this by just telling you a story about Jane. Jane was a very young looking, very sexy 80-year-old woman with dementia. Lovely figure, really nice woman. And she was being cared for by her youngest daughter. But when I met them, they were at loggerheads with each other. Jane's daughter was at the end of her tether. She wanted to do everything for Jane, and she had the best will in the world. But Jane seemed to be rejecting her at every turn. So there was a lot of hostility between them. It was becoming apparent that Jane would need long-term care. But Jane's daughter was insisting that she wanted to continue to look after her mum. So I worked with the daughter to help her to identify and to manage her own behaviors, because she was trying to manage her mother and change her. So we spoke about letting go of those things which are no longer important, because she couldn't fix her mother, and that is what she was trying to do. We worked at being flexible as well as forgiving of her mum, and especially of forgiving herself. We need to remember that dementia is controlling the brain of the person with the condition. So we cannot change them. We have to look at changing ourselves. So it is up to you, the caregiver, we, the people who care, to manage our behaviors, our actions and our reactions. We have to become a role model for the person with dementia. Jane's daughter spoke about many regrets she had, as well as all the things she had lost because of her decision to care for her mum. She had lost her relationship with a long-term partner. She had given up her job. She had given up her friends. She had moved from the area she lived and had come back home to live with mum. So she did lose quite a lot. And she was seeing her mum as almost being ungrateful for all that she was doing for her. So Jane's daughter and I looked at ways how she could let go of the past. I taught her, and we spoke about nourishing herself first, about treating herself better, and about allowing her mum to do things for herself, even if they weren't perfect. Because Jane's daughter had this picture in her head that she will buy all these beautiful clothes for Jane, and they will do all these wonderful things together. Yes, she did buy wonderful clothes for Jane, and Jane looked really stunning. But she was trying to make Jane into a person Jane wasn't, and Jane wanted to be able to still make decisions, and the daughter wasn't allowing that. So we worked hard at the daughter being non-judgmental. So we learned about letting go, and we said here love is letting go of fear. And what is fear? It's those things that we don't know. So dementia in one person affects everyone around in a different way. Jane's daughter had issues with her siblings because there were many of them, but it was only this last child who had taken the responsibility of looking after her mum. So within weeks, I was able to see a difference. They were both looking happier. They both seemed to be understanding each other better. They were once again enjoying each other's company. So what have we learned here? In this story, I looked at the carer looking after themselves, nourishing themselves first by accepting help from other people. We looked at treating themselves better by managing their emotions, their actions, reactions, and just finding time for themselves. And we spoke about becoming a care partner by maximizing the remaining skills of your loved one. So that was secret number 2, discovering clear strategies to improve and manage your expectations when delivering care in dementia. So can you see how this is now possible? If you can see the logic of this, type yes in the chat box. Yes, I can see that. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, so people are seeing the logic of managing your behaviors because dementia is affecting the brain of the person and we cannot get them to think differently. So we are the ones who have to make the change. So let's look at secret number 3. And here I reveal my exact 3-step process to achieving quality care, which will challenge you but will satisfy those in your care. Dementia, especially dementia of the Alzheimer's type, so Alzheimer's disease as we know it, is one of the most devastating diseases in the world. And I'll tell you the story of Dora to explain the devastation that people experience when caring for someone with dementia, but especially Alzheimer's disease. Dora was, when I met her, she was 60-something years old, but looked much, much older than her years. Dora was born with a serious physical defect, which, although corrected, left its telltale physical and emotional scars. Dora was from a loving family. She had a good education and later went on to have a very good job. She was close to her mum. She never got married. She and her mum remained close until her mum died. Shortly after her mum's death, Dora was admitted to hospital with dementia in her early 60s. So she had what is considered to be young onset dementia. Dora's behavior was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. She very rarely spoke. Instead, she growled and screamed and paced the corridor for hours. She was unable to care for herself in any way and needed full hands-on care with all aspects of her daily living. The staff on the ward were unsure of her level of understanding. To complicate matters, she had a speech impediment, and whether it was that she chose not to speak, we weren't very clear, but she didn't speak very much. She always seemed angry most of the time. When we spoke with her, we had to watch for non-verbal cues. We had to look for body language. We had to look for her reaction as to know whether or not she understood. So we had to listen for the meaning and the feelings that she was exhibiting to know whether or not she understood. One day, her social worker went to her former home and brought back some family photos. These photos were shown to Dora, and she looked at one and just said, "Mom," as she just began to cry and the tears were just rolling down her face. On another occasion, 3 of her former colleagues came to visit. Dora sat with them for a little while. I don't know if she was assessing, not sure of who these people were. But suddenly, she got up. She became very upset and moved away from their company and went to the back of the ward as if she was hiding. And she stayed out of view for the remainder of their visit. When the friends left, Dora returned to the sitting room and just burst into tears. And it was a little bit difficult to understand exactly what was going on, because on the one level she seemed as though she wasn't able to understand, but from what we just observed, we knew that she understood. So, in order to understand my 3-step process to achieving quality care, which will challenge you but will satisfy those in your care, what I would like you to do is follow me as I go through these 3 processes. First of all, I'd like you to visualize what it's like to live with dementia. This will help fill you with compassion for the loss your loved one is experiencing. We realized that Dora had insight into what was going on around her. She was also aware that she was different from the person she used to be. So please do try and imagine what your loved one is experiencing. Let's try a small experiment. I'd like you all to close your eyes. And now imagine losing your sense of belonging as you forget the identities of your family, your friends, and of your many adventures. How would you feel if your busy, intellectual, fast-paced life with feelings of purpose and accomplishments were replaced by frustrating efforts to feed or to dress yourself? Keep your eyes closed, not being able to find the toilet, or worst of all, suffering the indignity of incontinence. Just imagine that. Picture yourself knowing what's happening around you, but every time you try to interact with someone, the words come out all wrong. Can you imagine that? Your goal should be to care for your loved one the same way you would want to be cared for if you were living with the disease. Try personalizing the illness so it can become real to you. Imagine yourself being faced with the reality of losing everything that makes life worth living for you, and watch it being taken away little by little. Now open your eyes. How did you find that exercise? Let's have some answers in the chat box. How did you feel? Did it make you feel angry? Or did you feel bitter? Did you feel like lashing out at people, telling them, you don't need reminders, or don't need to be told of these simple things? You know them, but then do you? Would you want to shout at the person who is constantly reminding you of these little things, constantly telling you of these things? Do you want to shout at them and remind them of your education, or the job you held, or the job titles that you held, or the letters after your name? It's not fair, is it? But those are the things that your loved one experiences day in and day out. That's the way, that's their life. So step number 2, we need to learn to communicate in the language the person with dementia understands. We know that lack of communication makes caregiving more difficult. Communication is far more than just speaking. It's about speaking in a pleasant and respectful manner, always, even when you are not spoken to in such a way. It's about listening with more than your ears. It's about using your eyes, your heart, your feelings to listen and understand what your loved one is saying. And step 3, this might be a challenge for some of you. When the going gets tough, that's you the carer, you're the tough one. You don't stand and argue. You distract and you redirect the person. So you distract and you redirect. You don't stand and argue and try to win. So, why are you here? I'm not sure why you showed up. Could it be because you're feeling powerless in your caring role at the moment? Or could it be that you feel stuck, or you feel like you're going around in circles? Maybe you feel that you're driving blind, as we discussed earlier, and reacting to situations as they occur. Or probably you just need another perspective. The 3 secrets you've discovered are: secret number 1, you've learned the most essential concept that people overlook when caring in dementia. Secret number 2, you discovered clear strategies to improve and manage your expectations when delivering care in dementia. And secret number 3 is where I revealed my 3-step process to achieving quality care, which will challenge you but satisfy those in your care. So tell me now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about learning the secrets to improving the care you deliver? As promised, 100% free training video I will give to you once you stay to the end of this webinar. The video is a training video of 3 steps which will help family caregivers with their caregiving. So let me tell you about some testimonials, what people have said about my dementia care training. Michelle says, I was quite pleased to learn from Anne how to best ensure dignity for the person with dementia. Anne is the world's best kept secret. And Carmelita said, the information Anne shared on how to look after older people is life-changing. She has helped me to understand my own mother. And Dorothy said, this training has brought me to tears because I wish I had this information when I was on the journey with my mother. I realized that I didn't know how to treat my mother. Anne showed me what I should and shouldn't have done. She made me realize that your loved ones do not always see your caring as kindness as you intend it to be. So that brings up a question. The only question you should be asking yourself right now is, how can I learn these skills to improve my caring? So if you want to know right now, put ready in the chat box. I'm ready. Yes, I want to know right now. In the chat box, please. Yes, I see it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, you can do it slowly and try and patch together some stuff you've learned from me today. Or you can do it fast. But you and I both know trial and error is the slowest way to get results. So the solution I've created to help you get fast results is the Global Dementia Care course, developing groundbreaking, intuitive approaches to caring for people with dementia. The course consists of 12 comprehensive modules with assessments. It has full audio voice-over, and the modules are of variable duration from 30 minutes to about 3 hours. Module 1, Activities of Daily Living. In this module, you will discover how activities of daily living can benefit a person living with dementia and learn strategies to reduce their agitation and aggression. Module 2, Home Safety. Learn the most important priorities for families and caregivers in keeping their loved ones safe in their own homes long after a diagnosis of dementia. Module 3, Alternative and complementary therapies. Learn how certain types of therapies promote well-being in both you and the person you are caring for, and how to get the best out of them. Module 4, Challenging behaviors. What's the reason behind behaviors that challenge and how to challenge them? Module 5, Hydration in the elderly. Find out what is the second most important nutrient needed by the body and how do we maintain it in the elderly. Module 6, Dementia in the elderly. Learn how different dementias affect different individuals and how some can be reversed. Module 7, Young onset dementia. Dementia in old age is tragic, but how do you tell an 8-year-old that mummy has dementia? Module 8, Medication management. Find out how complicated managing medication for older people can be and how it can be a double-edged sword when it comes to people living with dementia. Module 9, Nutrition. Proper nutrition is important to keep our bodies strong and healthy, but becomes a challenge for older people with dementia. Module 10, Preparing for end of life. To die is a debt we must all pay. So why not prepare early? Module 11, Communication. Communication is the heart of the matter, so why do we take it for granted? Module 12, Caring for the caregiver. You have all cared out. Now who is going to care for you? But this course is not for everyone. The Global Dementia course gives insight into the world of dementia caring. It walks you through the highs and lows of caring, as well as the approaches which could be used when the unexpected arises. This is not for people who are not ready to invest time and effort to use the proven methods of caring to improve their circumstances. It's not for people who don't like taking action. It's not for people that just like to throw money at the problems and not implement the hard work. Neither is it for people who attend courses, then return to their old ways because their old ways are the best. So if you are not congruent with me and you're not willing to lead from the heart, then this is not for you. So why have I created the Global Dementia Care course? The course is designed to help equip caregivers with the competence and the confidence needed to provide person-centered care, which looks beyond the dementia and sees the person. The Global Dementia Care course will make it easy for family caregivers, professional caregivers, as well as the general public to improve their knowledge and understanding of the needs of people with dementia. So what are you going to get? You will get an increased knowledge of dementia, including its causes, the types, the signs and symptoms, as well as ways of responding to the needs of people with the condition. So do you know the difference between money and time? So what you're going to get? Module 1, Activities of Daily Living, valued at £297. Module 2, Home Safety, valued at £297. Module 3, Alternative and Complementary Therapies, valued at £249. Module 4, Challenging Behaviours, valued at £397. Module 5, Challenges of Hydration in the Elderly, valued at £295. Module 6, Dementia in the Elderly, valued at £297. Module 7, Young Onset Dementia, valued at £197. Module 8, Medication Management, valued at £297. Module 9, Nutrition in the Person with Dementia, valued at £397. Module number 10, Preparation for End of Life, valued at £197. Module 11, Communication in Dementia, at a value of £397. And Module 12, Caring for the Caregiver, valued at £297, bringing it to a total value of £3,614. And who loves bonuses? We have some bonuses for you. So, along with the course, there is the Global Dementia Care Weekly Planner. Planning your activities helps to decrease your stress. A weekly planner will help you to get more done. And this planner will serve as a record for you and for your loved one. So that's bonus number 1. Bonus number 2, case studies. There are 3 case studies of problems similar to your own, which will help you to navigate through your challenges in caring. These case studies may help you to understand a particular issue which you are experiencing. They may help you to identify the range and changing aspects of your loved one's dementia. Bonus number 3, Coping with Forgetfulness and Rejection, a guide. This is an audio guide, and there are 3 parts to it. First part, steering clear of rejection. It can be a two-way street. Continuing to care lovingly even when your loved one no longer recognizes you. Learn proven strategies to overcome forgetfulness and rejection in caregiving. Bonus number 4, another audio guide on how to be your own expert in dementia care. In this guide, you would learn strategies of partnering in care. You will learn how to maximize the skills of your loved one. You will discover communication skills in action. Another bonus is recognizing the 3 Ds in older people's care. Learn how to identify dementia's 2 most loyal friends. Learn how to differentiate between the 3 Ds when caring for your loved one. Understand the impact of the 3 Ds on your loved one's behavior. So a summary. Let's look at a summary of what you're going to get. Global Dementia Care course, 12 modules at a value of £3,614. Bonus. Global Dementia Care Weekly Planner at a value of £47. Another bonus, Case Studies of Dementia Care in Action, a value of £97. Another bonus, How to Cope with Forgetfulness and Rejection, which is an audio bonus at a value of £197. Another bonus, How to Be Your Own Expert in Dementia Care, another audio recording at a value of £197. And the 5th bonus, Recognizing the 3 Ds in Older People's Care, an audio version at a value of £97. So the total of what you will be getting is value of £4,249. If all this did for you was to finally get you an online dementia course which answers so many of your questions, example, an understanding of the different types of dementia and their effect on people's ability to function, would it be worth it? If all this did for you was to give you confidence in caring by improving your knowledge and giving you strategies to deal with difficult behaviors, would it be worth it? If all it did was give you the knowledge to care for yourself just as well as, or even better than the person being cared for, would it be worth it? So, you've got 2 choices. Choice number 1, you do nothing. If you take what you've learned today and do nothing, that equals nothing. Or choice number 2, you can choose to take a leap of faith. Just test it out to see if it will work for you. You've got a 30-day guarantee, a full money-back guarantee. So sign up today. Go through all the training, use all the resources, take action and implement the work. You have to be able to show this. And if for any reason you are not happy, just let me know and we'll give you all your money back. So a summary, what you're going to get. Global Dementia Care course, 12 modules, valued at £3,614. A bonus of a Global Dementia Care Weekly Planner, valued at £47. A second bonus, which is a Case Studies of Dementia Care in Action, valued at £97. Bonus number 3, How to Cope with Forgetfulness and Rejection, valued at £197. And this is an audio version. Bonus number 4, How to Be Your Own Expert in Dementia Care, valued at £197. This is an audio recording. And bonus number 5, Recognizing the 3 Ds in Older People's Care, another audio recording valued at £97. So a total of £4,249. But you won't pay £4,249 today. You won't pay £3,000 today, nor £2,000. You can get started now for just £497 if you bought today. That gives you a saving of £3,752. Or you can pay 2 monthly installments to get started right now. So just go to info@globaldementiacare.com and get started today. So a summary of what you're going to get. You get the 12-module Global Dementia Care course valued at £3,614 and 5 bonuses. Bonus number 1, Global Dementia Care Weekly Planner valued at £47. Bonus number 2, Case Studies of Dementia Care in Action valued at £97. Bonus number 3, How to Cope with Forgetfulness and Rejection, an audio recording valued at £197. Bonus number 4, How to Be Your Own Expert in Dementia Care, another audio recording valued at £197. Bonus number 5, Recognizing the 3 Ds in Older People's Care, another audio recording valued at £97. And this brings us to a total value of £4,249. But today, if you take action today, you would pay £497, or you can pay 2 installments of £299 for all of this value. So why not get started now? Visit us at globaldementiacare.com/courses or look us up at info@globaldementiacare.com. I will see you on the other side. So remember, you can only have one of 2 things. You can have results or you can have excuses. So, just a recap, a summary of all that you're going to get. The Global Dementia Care course, 12 modules valued at £3,614. 5 bonuses. First bonus valued at £47, which is a Dementia Care Weekly Planner. The second bonus is Case Studies of Dementia Care in Action, valued at £97. The third bonus, How to Cope with Forgetfulness and Rejection, an audio recording valued at £197. Bonus number 4, How to Be Your Own Expert in Dementia Care, another audio recording valued at £197. And the 5th bonus, Recognizing the 3 Ds in Older People's Care, an audio recording valued at £97, which brings us to a total value of £4,249. But tonight, just for those following up from the webinar, you pay £497 in one payment or 2 payments of £299 for all of this material. So, why don't you get started now? Visit me on globaldementiacare.com/course and I'll see you on the other side. So are there any questions? I'll take questions. So any questions, just write them in the chat box and I'll do my best to answer them. I see we have some questions. First question from Mercy. How long will it take to work through this program? Well, Mercy, it will take as long as you need. There are no time limits. It's up to you how quickly or how thoroughly you wish to go through the program. It's created in bite-sized chunks, so it is easy for you to understand, for you to go over bits, or it's up to you to go as quickly as you want. So you've got the choice. It's up to you. I hope that answers your question. So remember to visit me at www.globaldementiacare.com/course in order to take advantage of this exclusive offer. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the other side. Next question is from Inda. I hope I say that right. Apologies if I haven't. How does the course work? And do you offer monthly payments? Unfortunately, Inda, we do not offer monthly payments, but there is the opportunity to pay in 2 installments of £299. You can enroll on the course right away by visiting www.globaldementiacare.com/courses. Please, I beg you, take advantage of the 2 monthly installments. And remember, if you're not happy with the course and you can prove that you have tried and you have used all the material that's available to you, and you're still not happy, you will get your a full refund of the money paid. So please take advantage by visiting www.globaldementiacare.com/courses. The next question from Jerry. Hello, Jerry. Why is your course priced so low? Oh, Jerry, the course, is priced at this particular level in order to give everyone on the webinar an opportunity to purchase it at this time. I have left no stone unturned to bring quality in this program, so please take advantage of it. It's priced at this level so people can afford to pay 1 installment of £497 or 2 installments of £299 on 2 consecutive monthly payments. So I hope that helps. Next question, and this is from Sandra. Is the course suitable for anyone? Yes, Sandra. The course is suitable for anyone, for example, a caregiver, or anyone touched or affected by dementia in any way, or anyone just wanting to get a better understanding of the subject. So yes, it is open to anyone. So please visit me at www.globaldementiacare.com/courses, and you'll have a better idea of the course. It is, I promise you, suitable for anyone who is caring for someone with dementia, or anyone who is affected by dementia and would like to know more about it. It's not only limited to relatives who are carers. It's open to people working in care facilities, or relatives of people living with dementia who wants to have a better idea of the condition. So I hope that helps, Sandra. Nicole asks, how much time do I have to complete the coursework. Nicole, it is as long as you need. There are no time limits. So you can take as much time as you wish, or you can do it at a faster pace. It's up to you. The course, as I said before, is created in a way you can stop it and start at any time, because it is created in bite-sized portions, so to make it easy for people, for example, busy carers who don't have a lot of time on their hands. So remember, www.globaldementiacare.com/courses. Yes, and take advantage of this exclusive offer of £497 tonight, or 2 consecutive payments of £299. I am looking forward eagerly to see you on the other side. So that's all the questions I can take for now. So see you on the other side. So remember to visit www.globaldementiacare.com/course in order to take advantage of this exclusive offer. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Alternatively, you can drop me a line on info@globaldementiacare.com to answer any queries. So that's all I have for now. So goodbye.